The root of the word holacracy is holarchy. So holacracy is governance, ocracy, of the holarchy, the hola. And a holarchy is a hierarchy of increasing wholeness or increasing embrace, where each layer is a whole autonomous entity in its own right, and yet part of a larger whole. Like, for example, our human body is one great example of a holarchy. We have cells, and each cell is autonomous. It's not just directed and controlled from the outside. It has its own governance process, a regulation process. It has its own boundary, and it's an autonomous entity. And yet, it's also part of an organ. And our organs themselves are whole autonomous units with their own functions, and yet they're part of our whole system. Likewise, in holacracy, that's how we structure an organization. You end up with each individual role is autonomous. It has real authority and has real expectations. It has its own processes, and yet it's also part of a team, or what we call a circle. And that's kind of like the organ of the company. It's a whole autonomous entity. It governs itself. It operates. It's a self-regulating, autonomous entity with a boundary, and yet it's also a part of the larger company. And that hierarchy of increasing wholeness, and it's not a hierarchy of the people, it's a hierarchy of the organization's functions, its roles, its functions, its circles and teams. That autonomous hierarchy with autonomy at every layer is what governs, ultimately, in holacracy, the whole organization. It is governance of the entire organizational holarchy while honoring the autonomy and yet the interconnectedness at every layer.